This is the largest freestanding statue in the world, the Golden Driller. It stands 76 feet tall. It weighs 43,000 pounds. It's almost impossible to knock down. And that's our theme tonight at the Expo Square Pavilion in the oil capital of the world, Tulsa, Oklahoma, as we find out who will remain standing in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, Part 4, Revenge of the Warriors. Hi, everybody. I'm Bruce Beck. Welcome to the most exciting, the most provocative, the most brutal martial arts competition that there is. Tonight, highly skilled individuals in boxing, wrestling, judo, jiu-jitsu, and many other disciplines battle it out for $64,000 and the right to say they are the Ultimate Fighting Champion. Now, let me warn you right from the start, this is no exhibition. This is brutal combat. Working with me, a gentleman who has called the first 3 competitions in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, Pro Football Hall of Famer, Jim Brown. And Jim, what do you expect?
Bruce, we can expect the unexpected, if you can deal with that cliche. Revenge will be the major factor tonight. Horace Gracie could not continue the last fight, so he's out to take revenge for the Gracie family because, after all, his father never lost a fight. On the other hand,
Joe Son,
of course, who represented Chemo last time. Chemo lost a very close fight to Horace, so he's out for revenge. This will be a very difficult night, but revenge will be the major factor.
Jim, you have been around so many sports. How tough are these guys?
These guys are really tough. They basically practice all of their lives. They can take the punches. They can take the knuckles. They're much more tougher than I am.
Well, another member of our broadcast team is a 1984 Olympic gold medalist in Greco-Roman wrestling in the super heavyweight division. Let's go down to the octagon. Here's Jeff Blatnick.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Jim. I'm standing in the octagon, the area in which our combatants will do battle. The octagon is the traditional shape of the martial arts fighting venue. There is 750 square feet of area. It measures 32 feet across. And let me emphasize, this is not a ring. The fighting surface is surrounded by a 5-foot-tall chain-link fence. It's heavily reinforced. It's heavily padded to protect the fighters. Even the gates that the combatants come in has had a lock, a bolt-action lock put on so it cannot be opened. Most of all, at this time, the mat in which these combatants are on is a thin pad. It's a tight canvas skin. I would call the footing both fast and firm. So you can run in here, but there's no way that you can hide.
And earlier tonight, there were 2 alternate matches. They were actually prelims where an alternate later in the competition could actually get into the competition. Should any fighter be unable to advance to the next round due to fatigue or injury, an alternate will be summoned to take his place. Earlier tonight, Joe the Ghetto Man Charles victorious over Kevin Rozier, and Marcus Grasshopper Bossett a winner over Eldis Diaz Xavier. So those 2 are ready in case they are called. And here's a look at the main draw. There were actually only 2 seeds. Horace Gracie, the number 2 seed, in the upper half of the bracket, and the number 1 seed, Steve Jenham, in the bottom of the bracket. So, folks, this is basically a single elimination tournament. If someone gets injured and cannot continue in the next round, an alternate is summoned to take his place. And remember, Steve Jenham was an alternate and won UFC 3. The doctors are Dr. Joseph Estwanick, U.S. boxing team head doctor, and he will be also assisted by Dr. Tracy Asher and Dr. Brian Dalton from Tulsa. The cut man is Leon Tabbs, and the referee is Big John McCarthy. Basically, the rules: no biting, no eye gouging. All other blows are legal, including knees, elbows, and joint locks. The laws of the octagon: no rounds, no time limit, no way out. Right now, let's meet our first fighter of the evening.
Ron the Black Dragon Van Cleef is the founder of Chinese Goju Karate and holds black belts in 10 different martial arts. At 51 years of age, he is not only the oldest competitor in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, he is also a living legend.
I'm Ron Van Cleef, the Black Dragon from New York City. I'm 51 years old, and I've been practicing martial arts for 40 years, longer than any of these participants have been alive. I'm here to test myself, and I'll do my very best at the UFC.
A 10th degree black belt, Ron the Black Dragon Van Cleef. And Jim Brown at 51 Does he still have it?
Well, George Foreman still had it. And I am sure he's going to have it because he's fighting one of the toughest guys here tonight.
9-time U.S. karate champion, 2-time full contact karate world champion, Japanese karate champion, Hong Kong karate champion. Jeff, he spans 4 decades in terms of competition.
Certainly a legend. The only thing I have to question is 51 years old. That's got to be something with speed. It has to have taken a step away from his quickness. He says he uses hypnosis as a way to help him focus. I think he's going to need all that if he's going to be able to compete with the competition that's here at the Ultimate Fight Challenge.
He had a bit of a cold when he arrived in Tulsa, but he told us earlier tonight that he is feeling 100% better and he is ready to go. His opponent, however, is talented and dangerous and a former 2-time champion.
28-year-old Royce Gracie is the only fighter to have been in all 4 Ultimate Fighting Championships and has won 2 of them. Tonight, he'll be trying to reclaim his title.
Hi, I'm Royce Gracie. I'm from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I was here on the first, second, and third tournament. Now I'm back to prove that my family style is the best.
Revenge of the Warriors, or is it revenge of Gracie? The camp coming out, and it is a huge entourage. The Gracie family name is one of deep legend in Brazil. His father never lost the fight. His grandfather never lost the fight. Royce Gracie is following in that great tradition.
Royce is a master technician, particularly on the ground. His great Gracie Jiu-Jitsu style and system is to take his opponent off the feet, get him on the mat, and apply either a submission or a choke and take him out.
Jim, there's no doubt who is one of the favorites here tonight.
Well, there's no doubt about it. He's gotten respect of the whole country because in the first 2 fights, he exhibited so many techniques, and in those techniques never hurt his opponent, made them all submit.
He is a master of the chokehold. Here's Rich Goins.
Wow Promotions are pleased to present Ultimate Fighting Championship 4. Once again, there are no rules. Please welcome our contestants for our first quarterfinal match. Fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 190 pounds, 5'10", 51 years old. He is the oldest competitor ever in the history of Ultimate Fighting Championships, the founder of Chinese Goju Karate, and the holder of 10 different black belts in martial arts. The legend from New York City, Ron the Black Dragon Van Cleef. Van Cleef. And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner, a 4-time veteran of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, 6'1", 180 pounds, 28 years old, a 4th degree black belt in the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. 51-8 as an amateur, 8-1 as a pro, 2-time Ultimate Fighting Champion from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Royce Gracie.
A 4th degree black belt in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. The World Light Heavyweight Jiu-Jitsu champion, 2-time winner of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Quick look at the tail of the tape. Obviously, the big difference is in the age. 24 years, the junior is Royce Gracie. And we are underway.
Here's the double leg. He's going to take him down.
Gracie's got him to the canvas quickly, and this is usually where he forces his opponent to submit or works quickly with a chokehold.
He's in very, very tight. You can see Van Cleef trying to grab his hair. It's not going to work. Gracie right now is basically resting.
Gracie very comfortable on the canvas. And it happened to Van Cleef so quick as Gracie took him down.
You know, in a way, Bruce Van Cleef opened himself for this when he did that kick. Gracie caught the leg. That's what he's known for. He waits for his opponent to extend himself towards him. Then he rushes, crowds, takes him to the ground, to the mat here. Ooh, that was a decent knee by Van Cleef. Blocked a little bit by Gracie's arm. And once he gets you here, he'll work very slowly and methodically. He's trying not to spend too much energy. He'll work to either get a submission hold on an elbow or go for the choke.
Gracie continues to dominate on the canvas.
Well, what you're seeing right now is the bow constrictor. He doesn't like that particular nickname, but he moves like one. And this is perfect for him because he can conserve his energy. Because I know last time he got totally dehydrated, totally was fatigued. It's a matter of time, I think, fellas.
Gracie wearing down his opponent, just working slowly on the canvas. There's a punch to the body, just to the inside.
He'll rabbit punch until he brings the arm down. Van Cleef, when he goes to defend his ribs, that's when Gracie will move up and start to attack the head.
Van Cleef in amazing shape for 51 years of age as the Gracie camp looks on. Almost 2 minutes in. Gracie usually does quick work. His first 7 opponents fell in a total time of just under 11 minutes.
You can see him just taking his time. He's not going to rush this. He realizes he's in very good control. He's an expert at this manta position. In wrestling, we call this grapevine. Oh, some serious shots, elbow shots to the head. And he'll just keep softening him up until Van Cleef either gets frustrated and does something stupid, or he's going to roll to his stomach to avoid blows, and that's when he goes for the choke.
Van Cleef showing great heart, trying to move, trying to flip Gracie off of him, but unable to do so.
And in that position, you want to have your legs on the outside, which Van Cleef doesn't have.
Again, Gracie hitting to the back of the head.
This is very fatiguing for Van Cleef. He really can't get off any shots. He's holding the gi of Gracie to keep him away from him, to keep no distance between them so Gracie can't get off those kinds of shots. Gracie wants separation. He wants to sit up and then be able to deliver strikes directly down.
Gracie, who won a long savage bout with Chemo in UFC 3, but was unable to fight his next match, and trying to get revenge tonight.
There it is. He's turned over. Now you look for the choke.
Gracie, a master of the choke.
It's like Jim said, it's like a boa constrictor. If you move a little bit, he cinches it that little bit tighter. And it just goes on and on and on.
The blows to the head, get that head in position, get that arm under to get the chokehold.
The Gracie family rooting him on. Referee Big John McCarthy right on top of the action. He can't stop the fight.
That's it.
And that is all. Royce Gracie opens up with a victory in 3 minutes and 49 seconds. Van Cleef is amazing. And there's that respect that you will see throughout the evening from the fighters.
Oh, absolutely. As you look at this, the softening up, the blows behind the head, the blows behind the neck, always working for that position, always keeping balance, always knowing exactly what to do. Once he gets you in that position, it's very difficult to do anything except try to carry it on a little longer.
In a way, Bruce Van Cleef wanted Gracie. He wanted him right away. In fact, after the press conference, he told me there is a God. And in a way, a 50-year-old, one-year-old man going against Gracie might be the safest pick. A big boxer could probably really devastate him with punches to the head. Gracie makes you submit, so you're not going to get that striking trauma.
A point I'd like to make is that Royce could have actually punched him in the face.
Oh, I'm sure he could.
And did not do it. I saw that particular point.
He's
because
probably
his father told
hands.
him not to. His father told him not to hurt anyone unnecessarily. That's a part of the family tradition.
Well, early in the century, Royce's father, Elio, learned traditional jiu-jitsu from a traveling Japanese master. Over almost 7 decades, the techniques were modified and perfected to reflect modern street fighting situations in Brazil.
The winner of the first round
Another look at Gracie's victory over Ron Van Cleef. 51 years of age from Brooklyn, New York. And he wanted to go out, as you mentioned, Jeff. If he was going to lose, he might as well lose to the guy who is predicted to win this all.
Certainly Royce is a front runner.
So one bout is in the books in this quarterfinal round. It is a single elimination tournament. And a look at the crowd that has turned out here in Tulsa.
You know, Bruce, when we opened up, that crowd got a little unruly over there. I was hoping that would not spread through this arena.
Here's a look at what Gracie will have ahead of him. He will take on the winner of Joe Son and Keith Hackney. And that may prove to be a difficult bout. I'll tell you, there's a lot of fans in Gracie's corner. Of all the fighters who have come to Tulsa, wherever you went in the last couple days, it was Gracie Mania. All right, we're set to go for our next bout, so let's meet our next fighter.
Joe Son, known to some as Chemo's manager, returns to the octagon tonight as a fighter. At 23 years of age, he is a student of Taekwondo and Judo and the founder of his own system of martial arts, Joe Sando.
Hi, my name is Joe Son. I'm from Huntington Beach, California. The Lord said, not by my might or my strength, but with my spirit, said the Lord. You guys will see the spirit of the Lord of Jesus Christ tonight.
Well, he's definitely an unknown. Joe Son. He founded his own style, known as Joe Sando. He is a man of God, a third-degree black belt in Taekwondo, 23 years of age. Learned the martial arts from his dad beginning as a 5-year-old. And look at this entrance, Jim Brown.
Well, we saw it before with Chemo. Now the master, the man who taught Chemo, is doing the same thing. It's a strange mixture of religion and fighting. I don't understand it.
Frankly, Jim, neither do I.
Neither do you. I think that course is a little heavy for him.
Joe Son says, I love judo. I love the arts all the way around. I like the violence, the speed, the balance, and the timing. He says the martial arts are just like a video game, only you're doing it with your whole body, not just your thumb. Born in Korea, now from Huntington Beach, California, Joe Son. He's 5'4", 236.
Fire plug.
His opponent, dangerous in the art of karate.
After a valiant performance in the third Ultimate Fighting Championship, Keith Hackney returns tonight representing White Tiger Kenpo Karate.
Hi, my name is Keith Hackney. I'm from Roselle, Illinois. I train at Saviano's White Tiger Kenpo Karate in Addison, Illinois. And I'm back at UFC 4 to test my skills.
Keith Hackney fought 600-plus pound Emmanuel Yarborough in UFC 3 and won his first-round match, but he broke his hand and couldn't continue. He says the hand is sound.
Well, he delivered 36 unanswered blows to the 600-pounder's head and did hurt himself in winning that bout. But he said the hand is ready. One has to question whether one can heal that quickly, but I'm sure he learned not to keep punching to the head.
Well, actually, Jeff, it wasn't really broken. There was something wrong with the soft tissue. I don't think it was actually
sprained.
Yes.
But, Jim, you saw him pummel Yarborough, who was an imposing figure at 600-plus pounds, and Hackney was not intimidated.
Well, the only thing that was intimidating about Yarborough was his size, and most of that was blubber. He could not roll over. I did not think he was a real good contestant.
Joe Son is giving away 7.5 inches. He has the 35-pound advantage. Hackney's discipline, White Tiger Kenpo Karate. His sensei, Tom Saviano, developed it based on Ed Parker's Kenpo system and incorporating karate and Northern Chinese Kung Fu.
Well, the way I look at it is you either punch, kick, or seize. So the heck with all the different disciplines. That's just the theory behind why you throw it. When you execute it, it has results.
Well, you're a wrestler, see, so you know doggone well that you could go out there and beat them all, right?
Oh, I don't know about that, Jim.
Standing by for the introduction of the fighters to the crowd.
Hackney's a striker with that reach that could give him an advantage.
For the Ultimate Fighting Championship Part 4, please welcome out of the red corner, 5'4", 220 pounds. He's 24 years old and holds belts in Taekwondo and Judo and is a master of the practitioner of Joe Sando. Please welcome from Huntington Beach, California, Joe Son. And please welcome returning to the octagon, a veteran of Ultimate Fight Championship Part 3, 5'11", 200 pounds, 36 years old. He holds a second-degree black belt in White Tiger Kempo Karate, the Giant Killer. From Roselle, Illinois, Keith Hackney.
So it's Hackney against Joe Son. John McCarthy, third man in the octagon.
All right. Are you ready? Are you
Last
ready?
minute instruction.
Let's get it on, man.
There they go. Look for Joe Son to rush, maybe close the distance.
Hackney, a superb kicker. Joe Son measures his ground. Hackney trying with the sweep. Joe Son reacted nicely. Joe Son takes Hackney down. Good counter. And now he's in command on the ground where he can utilize Joe Sando.
We saw Hackney get away from the 600-pounder when he got on bottom.
Watch your fighter.
Hackney works his way to his stomach.
Keep working it. Keep working it.
That lock isn't tight. It's around an arm. There's no way he can really be choking him here.
Keep working it.
He's just holding him down. I'm sure Hackney's wondering what's he going to do, and he's really not following up with anything here.
Keep working it.
Hackney trying to work that right hand free.
He also tried a right elbow to try to catch Joe Son leaning over his side there. This is a wrestling hold. It's a front headlock.
Hackney.
Oh, now he's working the choke. He's got it around. He's no longer around that arm. That's a little tougher. Those are rabbit punches. That's not going to really hurt Hackney.
Hackney to his knees and now to his feet.
Oh, a shot below the belt, but it's legal.
And now Joe Son backs him up against the fence. Good move by Hackney.
Get back in the thing, you're disqualified.
And Hackney has punched very well before with his opponent on the ground. And he lands to the midsection of Joe Son.
Keep working, keep working.
Oh,
that is allowed in this competition, but that is brutal.
Joe Son has not broken the lock yet.
2,000 right there.
There it is. It's broken now. Watch for Hackney to strike.
Hackney working the grappling techniques now on the ground. Although his discipline is White Tiger Kempo Karate.
God, he's got a hold of his trunks too.
Get your towel, watch it.
Nobody's moving. He's tapping. He's tapping. He's tapping. He's tapping out. He's choked him out.
Joe Son taps out. Hackney is the winner.
Good job. Good job.
But I don't know if he's going to gain a lot of fans by his tactics.
Oh, I don't. In a no-holds-barred situation, there are no rules like that. There is no sentimental.
Rules. He took advantage of it, and he's better than I thought he was.
Hackney advances to the semis.
Joe Son, the winner, Hackney.
And so Joe Son, who played a cat and mouse game all week, not talking to the press, goes out quietly.
Well, I guess if you get hit to the groin about 10 times, you'll have to go out.
There's an early try at the sweep.
And this is where Hackney made a mistake, extending in. Joe Son came right back and took him down, but he was unable to finish with any kind of ground attack. He got Hackney to this position, and here is where your opponent is vulnerable. Try to elevate your head, sit up on his chest, and deliver striking blows down or look for submission, and he did none of that. Whereas Hackney, on the other hand, he took full advantage.
Yeah, this is where Hackney just pummeled away, and I can see you taking deep breaths at home on this. Hackney was 12-0 as an amateur boxer with 11 knockouts, but he is simply a karate specialist. Time to meet our next fighter.
25-year-old Melton Bowen comes to the Ultimate Fighting Championship as the only Western boxer. Melton is the WBF Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. In 37 professional bouts, he's won 24 by knockout.
Hi, I'm Melton Bowen. I'm one of the city boys from Miami, Florida. I came here to do what I got to do. I'm going to take him right out.
Well, this is the first time in the Ultimate Fighting Championship that we're really going to see a boxer. Melton Bowen, 32-5. The World Boxing Federation Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. Impressive amateur career, 172-5. 3 National Golden Gloves titles. 5-time Florida Golden Gloves champion. Jim, what do you think? We're finally seeing a boxer.
Well, we're seeing a boxer. We're going to either see a very quick fight that's going to end up with a guy on his feet, the boxer, or we're going to see a guy go down to the canvas and get beaten very quickly.
Well, Jeff, Bowen yesterday was very confident.
Very confident. He had his game face on most of the day. He's been very quiet. He says he has no respect for anyone in this competition. I agree with Jim. He's strictly a man on his feet. He doesn't know much ground attack, nor does he care to know much ground attack. The only thing he's done different from former boxers is that he's wearing gloves that allows him to grab. And I think that's a smart move on his part because he might need to.
Melton Bowen going up against the defending champion.
You both tell me you're ready and I'll tell you get it on at the time.
The current Ultimate Fighting Champion, Steve Jenham, is a founder and instructor at Innovative Martial Arts Strategies in Omaha, Nebraska. A uniformed police officer, Steve will be the man to beat tonight.
Hi, my name's Steve Jenham. I'm the current Ultimate Fighting Champion from Omaha, Nebraska, and I'm here to defend my title.
An Omaha City police officer, Steve Jenham, came out of the parking lot as an alternate and won UFC 3. Now we'll find out just how good he is. Co-founder and instructor in innovative strategies in the martial arts, a third-degree black belt in ninjutsu. He says his police training helps him in the ring, and his ground fighting skills have come in handy when trying to put the cuffs on someone. And here's a look at their respective key figures. Melton Bowen a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier. Jenham 5 years older.
Both look like they're in great shape. Again, though, Bowen, lack of a ground attack in almost every single bout here, Jim, we've seen hits the ground.
Well, I tell you, Jenham has the kicking techniques even when he's on his feet. I don't think that Melton knows how to defend against that. So if Jenham is if he's very smart tonight, I think he can win this fight.
Bowen is a security guard in the Florida School District. Played some football in high school, but he's been boxing since he was 8 years of age. But his stepfather used to take it to the gym every single day. Bowen is managed by Bobby Mitchell.
He's the founder of Innovative Martial Arts Strategies and a uniformed police officer from Omaha, Nebraska. Please welcome the defending Ultimate Fighting Champion,
strategies. Take the high kicks from Taekwondo, the low kicks from Muay Thai.
Sort of a spattering of booze in there. Wonder if there's a little telltale residue from the last championship in which an alternate got to the finals.
Underway. Melton Bowen, yellow trunks. Steve Jenham, great trunks. Bowen wearing those gloves with the fingers able to cut through. Jenham says he wants to take him to the ground. This is quarterfinal number 3.
Boy, he's holding back. Bowen doesn't want to extend. He wants to make sure that when he throws a punch, it's hitting. He doesn't want to miss and get too close where he gets seized.
Back kick by Jenham. Unable to do some damage. Long feeling out process.
There it is.
Ball comes in. Jenham's got him.
Nothing yet.
Bowen trying to break off. There's a right hand by Bowen. Then a couple more.
He's down.
Jenham gets him to the canvas.
This is where I don't care what you say, you can't throw punches from your back with a real effectiveness. You might get one in, but you're not going to get a series of them in.
And now Jenham throwing punches to Bowen's face. And Bowen continues to try to throw punches from his back.
Bowen fighting gallantly, but he's up against that fence. Every time he tries to roll, Jenham seizes the fence there, gets his balance, and then starts rifling strikes down to the head.
Jenham landing punch after punch now. Bowen gallantly trying to hang in there.
Oh, headbutt. He hasn't thrown any elbows yet.
And Bowen still trying to throw punches down there, Jim.
Yes, he is. He's hanging in pretty good under the circumstances, not having experience.
Oh, he might get out. Jenham regained his balance, though. Oh, there was a pretty good shot to Jenham's face. He's going to get out. He's going to get out. He's got a hold of the fence. He's going to pry his way out. Great job by Bowen to get out from ground. Tremendous job.
Bowen back on his feet, lands an uppercut.
Oh, what a throw.
A beautiful throw by Jenham.
That's a hip lock. Classical wrestling move. I think Bowen's really tired. I don't think he has a lot left to throw real mean punches. All those have to go through Jenham's arms. He's doing a good job of stopping them. But this is fatiguing.
I think Bowen's lost his energy. Jenham punching away. Bowen has nothing left right now.
Oh, that one hurt. His head bounced off the mat.
Keep going, keep working.
He's still there, though. He's using those hands well to counter. Bowen should arch as hard as he can and drive towards his head and try to rock Jenham off the top.
Bowen still gallantly trying to land punches.
Oh, that one hurt. He's tying up the arm and then following it in with the right hand. He's using his left hand there, block the arm. But even Jenham's punches seem to have lost a lot of their snap.
Jenham's got to wonder what is keeping Bowen in this match. Why is he not tapped out? Does he believe he still has something left?
He's got a lot of courage, big guy.
Sure does. Bowen's hanging
And
tough.
some of those punches have taken the sting out of Jenham.
4 minutes plus in. And Bowen still again trying to push Jenham off of him.
Bowen can take some pain. Jenham's trying to wind up and throw one big punch. He's not going to any submission holds. He's not going to a choke hold. And he's tired. He's breathing with an open mouth.
Keep working. Come on, Bill, keep working.
Bowen trying to push him off.
Boy, Jenham's fatigued. There it is. He's got it. If he doesn't do it, that's the end of his boxing career. He tapped out.
Tremendous fight, tremendous effort from Bowen and Jenna. But Jenna wins it. How much did that fight take out of the defending champion, Steve Jenna?
The first one's always the toughest. You're breaking the ice and getting into the flow. Beautiful, 100% Greco-Roman hip lock. Puts Bowen down again, and that was the beginning of the end. Jim, how does a guy take that many shots to the head and keep fighting?
Courage, determination. He has the heart of a champion, didn't want to give up. When he gave up, he had to because he couldn't do anything in that lock.
Here near the end, Jenham's still trying to punch Bruce, and at this point it was a fairly obvious that he really didn't have good energy behind these punches, and to his credit, Bowen, a great boxer, able to block a lot of those blows.
Bowen is tremendously strong also. If he knew something about the ground, he probably could have won this fight.
Here's a look at how the draw has unfolded thus far. Royce Gracie, Keith Hackney, and now Steve Jenham have advanced to the Final Four with one more quarterfinal match still to come. Anthony Macias and Daniel Severn. I think the one surprising thing, Jim, thus far is the length of the early matches.
Yes, I think we've had some good action tonight. I think there's been some surprises, and I think the determination in every fight has been great.
So often these bouts last less than 2 minutes. That one, 4 minutes and 47 seconds. And a great showing by the boxer, Melton Bowen. Our final quarterfinal match coming up. Let's meet one of the two contestants.
Oklahoma's own Anthony Macias is a professional Thai boxer with a record of 30-1 with 24 knockouts. Tonight, he'll be fighting with the home court advantage.
Hi, my name is Anthony Mad Dog Macias. I'm from Oklahoma City. I'm going to be the hometown favorite here in Tulsa. I'm here to win the UFC.
He is the Oklahoma favorite. Anthony Macias from Oklahoma City. 25 years of age. 31-1 as a pro Muay Thai boxer. Black belt in Taekwondo, black belt in American Karate. A two-time high school wrestling champion in Oklahoma.
I'll tell you what, Bruce, he might need that.
Ted's going to go back to that Greco-Roman style, his roots, because most of the fight are on the ground. He's a part-time house painter and a pro Muay Thai boxer. His opponent, however, is also adept on the ground.
Daniel Severn is a master of Greco-Roman, Sambo, and freestyle wrestling. At 35 years of age and with over 70 titles to his credit, Daniel has made wrestling a life study.
Hi, my name's Dan Severn. I'm from Coldwater, Michigan. I'm a freestyle and Greco-Roman wrestler. When I step into the octagon, it's a good thing there's a 6-foot fence because my opponent will be trying to escape.
He spent 5 years as an assistant wrestling coach at Arizona State and at Michigan State. He's the 1994 AAU Senior and Masters Greco-Roman and Sambo champion.
And he's one of the favorites tonight. Most of the guys think that this guy is probably the most dangerous guy in the ring tonight. We'll see, won't we?
I believe the only weakness that Severn might have, though he's been in Japan and done shoot wrestling in the past, is he leans forward a lot of times when someone tries to strike his head, and that could open him up to a knee. And that's exactly what Macias is very good at.
And Jeff, you have a lot of respect for him because you know him very well, right?
Well, I wrestled in the past with Dan Severn. We were both on the Junior World Team together. He earned a gold medal in the 77 Junior World Championships under 21, and he was a finalist in the 84 Olympic trials. Macias better be striking because he's not going to win the war on the ground.
Here's the tell of the tape. Severn 9 years older than Macias. He is 4 inches taller and he's got a 70-pound advantage. Severn says there's not a man alive that can put out the amount of energy, devastation, and strength that I put out in a short amount of time. And Jim, that's what it's all about. How quick how much can you put forth in a short period?
Well, you got to try to do it in a short amount of time because there are no rests, there are no rounds, there's no timeouts, there's no nothing. Therefore, you got to try to get it done.
Without a doubt.
So we're set to go on the banks of the Arkansas River in the heart of rich petroleum and natural gas field of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Final quarterfinal match of Ultimate Fighting Championship 4, Revenge of the Warriors.
25 years old from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Your hometown fighter, Anthony Mad Dog Macias. And his opponent in the blue corner, 34 years old, he stands 6'2" and 260 pounds. He's the holder of numerous AAU Greco-Roman Sambo and freestyle wrestling titles from Coldwater, Michigan, Daniel Severn.
They're getting close.
So here we go.
Are you ready?
Final quarterfinal.
Are you ready?
Macias.
He's the crowd favorite. He's the crowd favorite. Oklahoma City kid.
Both in the black trunks. Mustache to Severn. Muay Thai against wrestling.
There's the double. Doing a great job there countering. Severn taking some shots just to get him up. Oh, he's taking a lot of shots.
But Severn continues to work. Takes an elbow to the head from Macias. Now backflip by Severn.
That's just a straight back suplex. He'll do it again if Macias steps up too hard.
Wow!
Oh, that's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt. You saw Macias shake his head. I don't know why Severn isn't doing anything here to try to put blows to the head of Macias. He's tying up the arms. He's got a one-on-one, we call it in wrestling. You grab his wrists. Macias very confident with those elbows, though. Every time Severn lets go of a hand, an elbow comes rocketing up at his head.
Macias with plenty of wrestling in his background as well. Two-time high school champion, as we mentioned, but it's Dan Severn right now in control.
Macias covering up. I don't know why Severn doesn't elbow him to the head here. This is where a wrestler really doesn't train a lot because he's not used to throwing strikes. His opponent's very vulnerable and he's not taking advantage. He's looking to go to a choke or some kind of a submission.
And he may not be used to trying to put somebody away so quickly.
Without a doubt, though, this is going to fatigue Macias. He's carrying all that weight. He's struggling with his hands, and now Severn's got an arm under the chin. There's the choke.
And a tap out by Macias. And a very good performance by Severn. Couple of beautiful moves on the backflip. And then the submission hold.
Well, I tell you, it wasn't as smooth as a Royce Gracie.
No, not at all.
So what I'm looking at is a wrestler with a lot of strength, but not the true technique of the jiu-jitsu man.
Good point, Jim.
Well, Macias was a state champion here in Oklahoma. Beautiful. That's called a back suplex. You can see that it takes his opponent directly onto his head and shoulders. That's got to hurt, and it certainly makes you dazed enough that you can get in behind him. Macias there, though, very confident. This is the one that really hurt him, though. The knees come right up behind the head. You can see him try to shake the cobwebs out. The start of the end for the big man. There's the choke. Tight submission. He's got to tap out.
So Daniel Severn is on to the semifinals. So here's a look, guys, at the four that have advanced to the semifinals. Royce Gracie against Keith Hackney, and then it'll be Steve Jenham against Daniel Severn. And now fatigue has to be a factor in the second round. Tremendous crowd tonight in Tulsa, the oil capital of the world. The capacity of this arena, the Expo Square Pavilion, 6,573. Now we are very close to a sellout. This used to be called the Tulsa County Fairgrounds Pavilion Arena. Now we're set for the two-time champion to take the stage again, Royce Gracie. Here comes the Gracie clan. You know, they say Gracie Jiu-Jitsu doesn't require strength to beat someone bigger and stronger because techniques are based on leverage, not on power.
Well, if you take a big man with technique and a little man with technique, I think the power is going to win out.
There's no doubt about it, particularly if the skill level is there, the same as you were saying. But I think this is a match in which Royce better be very focused, because his opponent is very, very tough and he strikes very, very well.
Hackney is a great puncher. Question is, will he have those hands free to punch?
Royce is such a good ground attack, he just waits and gets you down.
Well, you might see a few kicks from Royce tonight, and maybe a few punches.
He's done that in the past, hasn't he, Jim?
Yes, he has. He is proficient in that also.
The entrance of the White Tiger Kempo Karate Man, Keith Hackney. His camp a little bit smaller, but Hackney's not. 5'11", 200 pounds, 36 years of age. Watching Bruce Lee got him into the martial arts. In training, Hackney finds 3 or 4 different guys in rotation in 2 to 3 minute rounds. 10-second rest period between fights. Doesn't seem like much. He owns a heating and air conditioning company called Hackney Classic Heating and Cooling.
Well, you better have the heat cranked up right now.
Well, we've received word that Steve Jenham will not continue. And this is the way the Ultimate Fighting Championship works. An alternate from earlier will take over, and that's the winner of one of the first bouts we had tonight.
Now the big thing we need to focus on here, Jenham is out, apparently sustained some damage from that fight he was in, but right now the big question is Hackney and Gracie, tail of the tape.
So Marcus Grasshopper Bossett will be in as you look at the tail of the tape. Jenham is out. This is semifinal number 1. Hackney 9 years older than Gracie.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first semifinal matchup of the evening. The winner advances to the finals of Ultimate Fighting Championship Part 4 and a chance at $64,000. Please welcome out of the red corner, a 4-time veteran of Ultimate Fighting Championships, 6'1", 180 pounds, from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Royce Gracie. And his opponent, the Giant Killer, 5'11", 200 pounds, 36 years old, from Roselle, Illinois. Welcome back, Keith Hackney.
Royce Gracie, his legend on the line against Keith Hackney.
Are you ready? Let's get it on, man.
My opinion, I think this is going to be one of Royce's toughest matches right here. This is the man. He can strike. That's Royce's probably biggest weakness. No one's ever seen the chin of Royce Gracie because nobody's really ever hit him.
Kempo Karate against Jiu-Jitsu.
There was that double leg shot.
Both fighters remain on their feet.
Yeah, Hackney doesn't want to commit. He doesn't want to get too close to Gracie because he respects his ability to knock him to the ground. And you're right, Jim. Gracie can kick.
Oh, yes. When you get against a good fighter, you have to use everything you have.
Gracie moving in on Hackney now.
And Hackney's very quick.
Gracie ready to strike, and he does. And Hackney counters nicely.
Oh, a punch by Gracie from the feet. Hackney's taking Gracie out of his normal game plan here.
Well, he has equipment to go into a different.
Great athleticism here. And a lot of respect being shown by both fighters.
Exactly, Bruce.
Good fight. A lot of respect.
Hackney knows if he's taken to the ground, he's in trouble.
If he backs up against that fence, he might be in trouble because then Gracie can get a hold of him. There it is. He's going to get a hold of him here.
Knee to the groin by Gracie.
I mean, Gracie will go to his own back just to bring him down to the ground. He is that talented once he hits the ground to be able to maneuver and look for chokes and submissions.
Well, we're going to have to watch and see it happen.
Gracie trying to trip Hackney. Had that leg for a moment. Couldn't work him down. Hackney with a right hand. He caught him. Gracie ties him up. Hackney's right hand is his out punch. Knees to the head by Gracie.
Oh, that one had a hit.
Almost 3 minutes in to this semifinal bout. Neither fighter has hit the canvas yet.
And it's very evident that Hackney doesn't want to be down there. He's got the collar of Gracie, and really that's what's holding him up right now. That and the fence.
Gracie with the knees again to the head.
There it is. He's gone down on purpose. Gracie wants to be here.
Gracie's got Hackney's head wrapped up. Hackney works out of it and lands a big right hand. Tremendous power at Gracie's legs.
You can see Hackney struggling for air too. He's got the mouthpiece half out trying to get air in.
Another right hand landed by Hackney. This could end up being a war of attrition.
Oh, watch for him to look for that arm. See that arm straighten out as Hackney tries to get back to his feet. Royce will look to try to seize that and go into that elbow submission hold.
Hackney has 20 pounds on Gracie. Royce getting through with some left hands to the head, now some rights.
Have you down! Have you down!
I don't know if he's got a choke on. It's very difficult to see.
Hackney, tremendous upper body strength.
Look at how poised Gracie is, despite being on his back in what is normally a very vulnerable position.
The favorite, Royce Gracie, in the fight of his life here against Keith Hackney. I don't know how much sting he can have in those punches from his back in that position.
Well, coming in from the side, he can get a little bit of momentum, but if it's a direct shot...
Now the elbow gets working.
Now we'll go back to trying to straighten that arm out. There it is. He's tapping out. That's it. Beautiful, beautiful technique by Gracie.
Yes, sir.
Out of nowhere, he just stayed within his game plan, and then the quick explosion, and Gracie is into the final.
But he used every technique, every blow, everything that he had, which I anticipated because of the skill of Hackney.
Hackney, a great striker. That was probably the longest anybody stayed on their feet against Gracie.
A master martial artist.
Now the question is, will he be able to have the energy to come back out?
Here's the last move, the takedown.
See how he blocked that punch? You could see him grab Hackney's wrist, block that punch. And he's looking for openings. There's not many people who can lay on their back and be offensive.
That was actually earlier in the fight.
Well, like you said, he has very strong legs. Amazingly strong. You wouldn't know that.
And he uses his whole body as the weapon, as you said. Yes. Well-rounded, full arsenal of attacks, and really great composure.
Well, he didn't listen to his father. He used everything.
This time. A tribute to Hackney. Hackney tested him.
Well, we saw it in the last fight. Hackney is a skilled individual.
So Royce Gracie has advanced. Hackney fought a terrific fight, Jim.
Well, there's no doubt about it. That White Tiger is something else. I like the techniques.
So it will now be in our other semifinal, Marcus the Grasshopper Bossett against Daniel Severn. Bossett won earlier tonight over Eldo Diaz Xavier in an alternate bout, and because of Steve Jenham unable to continue, an alternate takes the place at the next available spot, and that is in the semifinal.
Well, I'll tell you, Hackney said something about fatigue, and he got tired. Well, that's the objective of athleticism. I mean, in other words, fatigue is always going to be a factor.
Good point, Jim. And you wonder how much of that was with Jenham. You could tell at the end of that first fight with Jenham, his punches had no sting left. He was exhausted. He was able to win, but unable to continue.
All right. So it's the first time tonight we're going to see the Grasshopper, Marcus Bossett. Let's meet him closer.
29-year-old Marcus Bossett holds a third-degree black belt in Shorin-Ryu Karate. He considers himself a traditional karate man.
Hello, my name is Sensei Marcus Bossett from DYF Karate Los Angeles, and I'm fighting in the UFC to let my kids know and all the kids around the nation know that you can do anything that you want to do. All you have to do is apply yourself, get out there, and do it.
The Grasshopper, whose area of expertise is Shorin-Ryu Karate, a third-degree black belt. Shorin-Ryu Karate, one of the traditional schools of hardstyle Okinawan karate. He played football, lacrosse, and wrestling in high school at Fort Union Military Academy and then at the University of Maryland. He's an owner and teacher of a karate school in South Central Los Angeles. And he won easily earlier tonight.
It's going to be the same thing it was before, all right?
And now we're waiting for Daniel Severn to make his entrance. Actually, Bossett's match was against Eldo Diaz Xavier,
it went
and
a while.
It was a long one.
It did, but he's had plenty of rest since that alternate bout. He's had more time, obviously, than Severn has, Jim, to recuperate.
Here comes the focused one, Daniel Severn. Born in Flint, Michigan. Hometown Coldwater, Michigan. He's won numerous freestyle wrestling matches and tough man competitions. Over 70 national, international, state, and Pan-American titles. He's fought in Cuba, in Istanbul, in Japan.
And it's very evident he has wrestling roots. I mean, his first bout, he was throwing Macias right over the top twice with back supplés, great throws. The second one really being the beginning of the end for Macias. This is a little bit bigger opponent and definitely a kicker. Again, Severn will try to knock him to the ground.
But I think the punches are going to have to be thrown with Severn. I don't think he can get on the ground with him. But if he can punch him, I don't think Severn is used to that.
No, not at all.
Severn with a 40-pound advantage over Bossett.
Championship Fighting Part 4. Please welcome, fighting out of the red corner, and earlier in the alternate fights, a third-degree black belt in Shorin-ryu Karate. He stands 6'1", 220 pounds, 29 years old from Los Angeles, California. Please welcome back Marcus the Grasshopper Bassett.
He won a coin flip over Joe Ghetto Man Charles. Both were alternates who could have fought
and his
tonight.
opponent in Ultimate Fighting Championship 34 years old, 6'2", 260 pounds, from Coldwater, Michigan, AAU Greco-Roman Sambo and freestyle wrestler Daniel Severn.
And there is a look.
The Mouse.
At the Mouse, the lovely Mouse. Well respected.
Let's get it
Her
over.
name, Michelle Mouse Krasnu. A terrific karate lady in her own right. Bassett and Severn.
Severn's potential only weakness really is if Bassett starts attacking his head, Severn tends to put it down. And if he puts it down, he's susceptible to that kind of a kick.
Bassett gets nailed by Severn. He caught the leg and brought him to the ground. Tremendous catch by Severn.
See what Severn's going to do here. This is where he wants to be. He's in the mana position. If he sits up, he'll try to strike down. Otherwise, he's going to try and get a submission. He's really trying to choke now. That's it. He's got him.
Wow. What a move by Dan Severn. And it didn't take him long. He will benefit from a short time in the octagon.
Boy, this is going to set up a final.
A fantastic final between Royce Gracie and Dan Severn. So Gracie, instead of seeing a dangerous puncher, will now meet a guy adept on the ground, Jim Brown.
Yes, that means Gracie might have to become a puncher and a kicker.
Look at that move, Jeff.
Just quick, Bassett tried to kick him and Severn was coming in at the same time. Bassett only on one foot, didn't have the balance. Severn was able to get him down. And right here is when he's going to move up towards the head and try to clamp. He's watching against any potential knee, and he folded the arm over the throat and squeezed, and that was the end.
And there's the reaction by Severn after the tap out. And it is down to 2. And what a matchup. Gracie and Severn, the Greco-Roman specialist against Jiu-Jitsu. A heck of a crowd tonight in Tulsa at the Expo Square Pavilion. Sellout crowd, or close to it, 6,500. And so in the final, it'll be Daniel Severn against Royce Gracie. Gracie pressed much further in the semifinal. Severn did big, quick work of his opponent. Who will reign tonight in UFC 4, Revenge of the Warriors? Here come the finalists. The Gracie camp is coming forward. 4th degree black belt in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. The World Light Heavyweight Jiu-Jitsu champion. 2-time winner of this event. A long, great tradition in the family in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Now living in Torrance, California, Royce Gracie. Royce, the current torchbearer for the family. And the legacy goes for 7 decades. He's in for a heck of a fight. The patriarch of the family, Elio, his brother, Florio, 7 brothers and 2 sisters in the large Gracie family. And he goes into the ring tonight carrying that burden of family trust family success on his shoulder.
Everything, but you know what's great about that? With that kind of dignity and love and caring, even if he loses properly, it's all right.
Here comes Daniel Severn. Out of the clouds comes the Greco-Roman Sambo freestyle shoot fighting kingpin. And he has been impressive. But now he meets the fight of his life.
Well, Gracie showed us that he has a lot of attributes that he didn't have to use in previous fights at the Ultimate Fight Challenge. He might need these against a very powerful wrestler, much larger wrestler. It'll be a question of whether Severn is going to be able to, if he gets in the dominant position on the ground, whether he can execute a finishing strike or hold.
Well, he might get a strike. I don't know if he can get a hold, but I think the power and the weight is going to weigh on him.
Here's the tail of the tape. Severn, 7 years older, 1 inch taller, 80 pounds heavier. From Coldwater, Michigan. 1994 AAU senior and Masters Greco-Roman and Sambo champion. A wrestling coach and assistant at Michigan State and Arizona State for the better part of 8 years.
He's now coaching the Michigan Wrestling Club.
And it's time for the introduction of the fighters from Rich Go-Go Goins from Fox Radio in Denver.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tulsa, Oklahoma welcomes the world to the finals of the Ultimate Fighting Championship Part 4. As Semaphore Entertainment, in conjunction with Wow Promotions, pleased to present the finals. $64,000 on the line. Please welcome your competitors. In the red corner, the 4-time veteran of Ultimate Fighting Championships, 6'1", 180 pounds, a black belt in the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, 2-time Ultimate Fighting Champion from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Royce Gracie. And please welcome his opponent, first time in the finals of Ultimate Fighting Championships, 34 years old, 6'2", 260 pounds. He is an expert in the arts of Greco-Roman Sambo and freestyle wrestling from Coldwater, Michigan, Daniel Severn. The finals of Ultimate Fighting Championship Part 4.
It is the revenge of the Warriors, the laws of the Octagon. No rounds, no time limit, no way out. Rules in this bout, no biting, no eye gouging. Everything else goes. Ways to win the match. Choke out, knockout. Your opponent taps out. The corner throws in the towel. Referee stops the fight when an individual is unable to defend himself. The brutal Ultimate Fighting Championship Part 4 final. Gracie in the gi, Severn in the black trunks.
You know, I question the gi sometimes. It seems to get in the way. What do you think about that, Jeff?
Some people say he can use it to his advantage, and he had a good point. He said if he didn't have a gi on, people would want to have clenched fists and strike him. However, when he has the gi on and people come close, they tend to grab, and that's what he wants. He wants to turn it into a ground attack game. But against Severn, that might not work for him.
Severn diving in and grabbing the leg of Gracie. And he's got control. Gracie kicking the back of Severn as Dan works on top.
And had no effect on Severn. None at all. The real question here, and Jim brought it out, is how efficient is he at finishing on the ground?
He did not pummel his opponent earlier, did not throw punches, was sticking to his Greco-Roman format.
And the submission tactic instead of the striking tactic.
$64,000 to the winner, $19,000 for the runner-up. Severn working Gracie. Gracie trying to punch his way out. Something, Jim, you said he had to do.
He might be getting choked right here. Severn has it pretty tight. If he continues to squeeze forward and take the weight to the head, he might have a shot at choking out Royce Gracie. But I'm sure Gracie is well versed at this.
Let's go.
Severn, unflappable, keeping the pressure on.
It's amazing to me that the greatest martial artists in the world can't keep themselves from getting to this position. Wrestling certainly is showing a tremendous amount of prestige and respect that I don't think wrestling was ever given as a form of self-defense. Everybody thinks it's these wild kicks and punches, when obviously in a true fight, some of that might happen if you cold cock a guy, but for the most part, it's going to end up here.
34-year-old Dan Severn.
This is taking an awful long time. I'm wondering if Severn is unable to find a way to finish.
Could Gracie be playing possum and looking for a quick burst of explosion? Does he have it in him?
Well, Severn released the hold. He didn't have what he wanted. That tells me that he is not real confident on or sure on how he's going to beat Gracie here.
If you have Gracie down, Jim, you can't let him get away.
Well, that's true, but I don't know exactly what it means, because when you're down, there's a lot of energy that you're putting out. Fatigue becomes a major factor.
And keep in mind, Gracie went 4:47 in his semifinal match. Severn went about 40 seconds.
You know, something else I'm surprised at is Severn has not yet tried a headbutt, and he has had a couple of opportunities to come square into the middle of the face of Royce Gracie.
Because he's basically a wrestler.
He's not, instinctively right now, he's not thinking of that.
That's right.
Keep working, doing good, doing good.
He's got so many tactics that he is allowed to use that he's not.
He won't get away from Severn here. Severn is way too skilled, or should be way too skilled, to allow Royce to be able to slip out from underneath and get on top. Against someone else, Royce would have that ability because they are not trained in ground wrestling.
Plus, Severn's got the 80-pound advantage.
There was a headbutt.
Almost 4:30 into this championship bout. And Severn content to ride Gracie.
If he can tie up that cross wrist, he's got that hand. He can now punch with the right hand. Let's see if Severn takes advantage of that. There it was.
Severn to his feet and back to the canvas.
Great show of courage on the part of Royce.
Doing good, come on.
He's hanging in there. He did it against Hackney.
The fatigue factor must be awesome.
At this point, it's got to be, Jim. You're right.
And Gracie trying to wrap those legs around, kicking ever so often, but for the most part, being neutralized by Severn. 5 minutes plus in.
Gracie's got a hole in there, guys. He's working on a hole. You can get that hole from the bottom.
That's right. He's trying to put a reverse choke here using his left forearm and pulling across on the gi on his left arm. I'm not sure how effective it is.
Well,
pressed up against that fence, that chain link fence, part of the octagon. And he's using a toe grip along the fence line. Gracie forced to use every part of his arsenal. And now the crowd chanting USA again for Dan Severn against the Brazilian Royce Gracie.
He's got him close. It's broken.
Gracie with those short punches to the head. Severn not moving at all.
No, those are mainly to try to get his opponent to adjust, and then he'll try to reposition when the man on top moves, but Severn will have none of it. He's felt all kinds of impacts when laying here during his wrestling career. But what Grace is so astute at is not being caught open. Severn can't hit him. Severn can't find a way to choke him. Severn can't find a submission hold. That's what he needs to do.
Severn pounding away with the combination.
Boy, this might be a slow attrition battle.
Doing good.
7 minutes in. The average bout, 2 minutes in our prior competitions.
Oh, the eyes might have come in there.
Daniel Severn riding on Royce Gracie, despite the fact that Gracie getting encouragement from his corner, but no encouragement can help you when you're on your back like that, Jim.
Well, that's true.
Does Gracie have what it takes to mount any type of quick reversal?
I don't think it's going to happen. I just don't feel Gracie is going to have the kind of ability to escape a wrestler when he's in this dominant a position.
Keep it working.
But what's frustrating for Severn is he can't find a way to choke out this jiu-jitsu martial artist who knows all the chokeholds and such so well, and is very, very good at being on his back and turning it into an offensive position.
Couple of punches there by Severn.
And those hurt. Those are good shots, and they're hitting cleanly into the ribs.
His wife, Terry, at home, she wouldn't watch this competition. But he said he wanted to win it badly. It has been pretty much this way throughout. Severn on top of Gracie. And Royce showing a great deal of mettle.
He doesn't want to be pinned up against that fence either.
His tremendous pride, trying not to tap out, trying to find a way to will this fight. But it's the grappler, the Greco-Roman specialist, Dan Severn. Well-versed in Sambo, freestyle and shoot fighting. Trying to win it.
Royce is going to have absorbed some terrific punishment here. Those short, choppy punches, though they're not full swings, they will add up in an accumulating way if Severn continues to stay here.
How long can Gracie endure?
I'm just amazed. Here he goes. He might be looking for that cross choke again. Severn very good at being able to control the shoulders. He's not letting Royce really get to a lock, and I've got to believe Royce is starting to get tired. He's carrying the weight.
Almost 10 minutes in. Keep in mind, this is each of their third fights of the night.
Keep working, doing good.
Severn pummeling over the right hand.
But he's taking his time. He's not flailing. He's not burning energy needlessly.
Jim, how long can Gracie hang in there?
Well, I'll tell you, he surprised me because I thought it'd be over by now. Because it's really stamina.
Stamina, conditioning, and courage as Gracie tries to mount a lock with his feet, with his legs. But Severn pushing him into the fence again.
Nothing there. It's just a figure four. As long as he's got that around his shoulder, he really can't choke Severn out. Severn putting weight down. This is more pressure on Gracie than it is on Severn.
Gracie unwilling to fold, punching with the right hand. These are two superiorly conditioned athletes with not much left.
He's again got that cross wrist. If he can get, he's trying to reach across and grab the opposite hand of Gracie and then use his free hand to punch because the block is gone. Gracie doing everything he can to try to slide and slink underneath to get away from Severn. But Dan's wrestling background and ability to ride, as we call it in collegiate wrestling and international wrestling, is keeping him in this mounted position, keeping him in that dominant advantage position. And really, with this kind of action here, it's slow, but I have to feel that Severn is going to outlast Gracie.
And Dan Severn does not want to make a mistake. Might be one of the reasons he's not trying to punch him out. He just wants to ride him and hopefully force the fatigue factor to set in where Gracie taps out. Because Gracie is dangerous if you give him an opening. I don't know 12-15 into a match like this how dangerous he is. But you never know. .12:30 in. And the war of attrition continues. Royce Gracie, the two-time champion of the UFC, showing tremendous mettle. But he cannot flip his opponent. Severn got him where he wanted early, on his back.
Gracie's eyes are still clear.
Yep. A knee by Gracie. Severn with a right hand to the face. .13:30 into this championship bout of UFC 4, Revenge of the Warriors, and Dan Severn continues to lay atop of Royce Gracie. Jim, is there anything Gracie can do?
Those could hurt.
Well, I tell you, I wouldn't know under these circumstances, because with 13, 14 minutes gone, it's almost impossible to feel that he could have the stamina to do anything. But he has the heart of a lion to continue.
No question about that.
It's the family tradition, the family history, the heritage, the pride.
The proficiency at being able to stop any kind of a blow to hit his head. It's incredible how good a defense he has here.
A couple of them got in there, Jeff.
Oh, he's taking a few here and there, but it isn't that 1, 2, 3 that are really going to daze you and cause you to put your defenses down. Dan has to work very hard to get those 1 or 2 shots in, but he's getting them.
Almost 15 minutes into this championship bout. Nothing has changed. It is not a riveting final. It is just a power play.
Well, it's riveting to me because I think it's unbelievable to have that kind of stamina.
Gracie hangs tough.
Nothing there. There's nothing there. Severn's in great position. There's no real power in those legs to be able to choke him. It looks good, but what he's trying to do is come out back door. He wants to pull himself right out from under Severn and come out the side. Dan realizes this. He crawled out to the side. Oh, he might get an elbow lock here. Severn might be in trouble now. When you raise the butt up like that, you're trying to pull the head out.
Gracie maneuvering, whatever he can do to stay in it.
That's it. Oh! He choked him out. He choked him out.
Talk to me.
Unbelievable.
Gracie amazingly hung in there.
Don't you ever say that again, Jeff.
About what, Jim?
About a wrestler. I'm
Gracie
just excited.
is a wrestler. He's a ground attack specialist.
Gracie wins.
Unbelievable proficiency at finishing moves.
Unbelievable.
What a comeback. He hung in there to the very end. It didn't look like he could ever mount a charge.
What can I say? This man hung for 15 minutes against a man
absolutely
80 pounds
unbelievable.
heavier.
What a performance by Gracie. On his back almost the entire match. His corner urging him on, and somehow he just hung in there. He would not tap out.
His ability to defend, his proficiency at all of those down positions, and a wrestler doesn't practice striking and choking in a down position. And that is what Gracie is so good at. Severn did everything he wanted to, but be able to finish.
There was the takedown early in the match, and that's the way it went for 14, 15 minutes.
Severn had his chances. Gracie very astute down here.
Severn could not finish, Jim.
Well, no, he couldn't finish. He didn't have the particular technique, but he was fighting a man that not only know how to get you, but he plays the defense.
Here's the tap out. Watch the left hand. That's it. Gracie chokes him out.
But the heart was the most important factor in this fight. The heart of the lion.
Gracie wins it.
Smile,
and keeps
Jeff.
the family tradition of no
I'm very
losses.
happy. I wanted to see Hoist do well. A small man taking on a big man has always been the way I wrestled, Jim. But at the same time, I think that might have been Hoist's toughest match ever.
Might have been. There's no doubt about it.
There's never.
Thank you. And it came from a wrestler there, Jim. But
and it came from a wrestler, and a big one.
Never been a loss in the Gracie family, and that tradition continues.
Absolutely astounding, Bruce.
So an amazing show of determination, of guts, of will by Hoist Gracie on his back for almost 15 minutes. Then he chokes out Dan Severn to win UFC 4, and indeed it was a revenge for one of the great warriors in the martial arts community. 64,000 to Hoist Gracie.
And he mouthed, "I'm back."
So for Jim Brown, Jeff Flatnick, and Rich Goins, I'm Bruce Beck saying so long from Tulsa, Oklahoma, in the Ultimate Fighting Championship 4.